And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the views of the world's largest express transportation company, which in fact is known for its reliability. They're very time sensitive. They are delivering in more than 220 countries worldwide. And the 3PLs, which we are going to be in detail talking in the next panel discussion. In fact, this has been one of their initiative and they have been associated with that. So I would like to invite Mr. Rajesh Bhatia, Managing Director, Sales, India, FedEx Express, Middle East, Indian Subcontinent and Africa for his address.
Distinguished panel members in the audience, friends from the trade and the fraternity, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of FedEx, it's my pleasure and privilege today to welcome you all to this Economic Times Summit on Supply Chain Management and Logistics. When I was sitting in the audience, I couldn't help but think of some of the challenges that we as supply chain professionals face on a day-to-day basis. When I came in this morning, I was supposed to be third in the queue to speak. And guess what? By the time I landed up here, I'm actually the fifth one. And that is so true of how we need to change and adapt to the changing circumstances. Now, being the fifth speaker actually from the time we started this morning, I'm acutely aware that you've been sitting in the audience listening to the Honorable Minister earlier, and then the keynote address by Mr. Tripathi. A lot of what had to be said has been said. And then, there is some mouth-savoring line of panel discussions that are lined up. So I promise to be short. I will not stand too long between the panel discussions and all of you. But I want to take a few minutes to talk about what we as FedEx believe of the developments in the supply chain world, especially in the context of India. Now, starting with the event, first of all, we at FedEx, along with, of course, the event organizers and the other fellow sponsors, we believe that, the timing of the event is actually perfect. Given the changing world that we are living in, I think it presents a perfect opportunity to have some discussions around these changes and see how we need to evolve in our respective roles and how can we make the supply chains that we operate more efficient and more adaptable to this changing world. I'll give you an example. Earlier on, the concept of value creation used to be produce a product and then you had sufficiently added value to the economy. However, in recent time, what's happening is that the concept of value creation is actually shifted. It has shifted to an economy or a new world that favors value creation through service, whether it's speed, whether it's reliability, or whether it's information. These are now emerging as the primary source of value creation. No longer is it sufficient for a business to produce a product, price it correctly, and then develop promotional campaigns. While these are necessary, we truly believe that these are not sufficient. What is, the missing piece is, of course, the distribution channel, which, as we know, is a critical element of the fourth marketing P, which is place. Right? And as businesses focus on products, the end consumer, we believe that businesses also need to start focusing more seriously than ever in the past on the supply chains that help get the product across to the customers. So the businesses don't just have to deal with competitors who are producing similar products, but businesses are actually having to focus and getting a value advantage through the supply chains that we are building. And we don't have to go too far away to drive home this point. Just think of e-commerce, the world that is exploding right in front of us right now. As subscribed customers, we've shopped on e-commerce portals, and we've seen that companies deliver not just customer satisfaction, but truly customer delight by making a product available to us at a time and in the condition that we need it to be. God knows how many of us have been saved by the wrath of our loved ones because we were able to order something online and be ready with a present for the occasion. And especially when it comes to wives, you better have one, right? So, that's the evolving world that we are living in. At a macro level, now if you move to a global level, there's something else that's changing. In today's day and age, the large economies do not belong to a particular state, they don't belong to a particular country, nor do they belong to a particular economic region. Gone are the days when, you could talk about the North American trading bloc, you could talk about the European Union. Today, we're living in a very, very globalized world. Today, what we have is a large globalized economy, and that's a single largest trading platform that, guess what, is powered by supply chain. Moving closer home, again, the Indian economy is positioned very, very positively right now. And again, here too, in a supply chain that is driving the economy as equally as at a global level, if not more. We are aware of the limitations, the challenges that we have in our world. So supply chain continues to have a huge role to play. So as FedEx, we are obviously very, very excited to be able to participate as a business in this growth opportunity that we have in India, as well as committed to facilitate the growth for business in general. We're committed to expand our network, not only within the metros, but also go beyond the metros into Tier 1, Tier 2 markets, as we recently demonstrated by way of a press announcement, where we expanded our both air and ground network to over 19,000 zip codes in India. So that's one thing that we want to do. Again, businesses such as FedEx, we connect other businesses and we deliver to this changing world. While the world is changing, there are certain concepts that still continue to hold true. Faster, cheaper, safer, simpler. All our customers and our customers are asking for this. And we as FedEx, we strive to make that happen for our customers. As FedEx, we also believe that there are some trends that are emerging that are having an impact on the supply chain, both on the demand side as well as on the capability side. So on the demand side, for example, excuse me, what we're seeing is, there's growing urbanization. So the demand is beginning to get concentrated. There's a population explosion. There's customer segmentation happening. So there's, different customers want different things. So, supply chain has to become more robust to be able to respond to different needs of different customer segments. On the capability side, the Honorable Minister spoke about some of the developments that are already happening. And overall also, we know that, with all the promised development of the ports, whether it's airports, seaports, that Mr. Tripathi also spoke about. So with the regulatory environment change that's happening, that again will have a huge impact on the supply chain. So when you look at both these factors, both on the demand side as well as on the capability side, it will naturally open up new challenges, new opportunities for us. And as a team here and outside, the supply chain world has to figure out how do we adapt to this changing world. So in that context and in that light, I think today's opportunity is a great one because it presents to us a platform where we can all collectively deliberate, discuss on some of these challenges and opportunities ahead of us. So I would request each one of you to participate wholeheartedly, exchange ideas, explore new thought streams. As we look around, obviously, there are so many familiar faces. There are friends in the audience, and then there are other business partners, who are potential allies and friends. So I would encourage all of us to, have a more meaningful discussion today to maximize the key takeaways that we have from this event today. Yeah? So without much further ado, I thank you all for your presence here. I thank the organizers for putting this together and giving us the opportunity. And I'll hand it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh, for sharing your views with us. Yes, an effective supply chain definitely adds to the customer's delight, and it adds also to the economies of scale. It drives the economic growth. And there are certain challenges which he spoke about, which we are going to be deliberating and discussing in the course of the day. So towards that, we look forward to all of yours active participation. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we end the inaugural session.